Hi there, Aquarius. Thank you for joining me for your weekly forecast for week commencing the 19th of September. Your value system, the things that you really believe in, your idealism. Sometimes you might have quite a unique way of looking at things, but these ways of looking at things are still very special to you. You take a lot of pride in them. They identify who you are. It's part of the self-validation that you hold so dear. Now with Mars, which in the sign of Sagittarius is quite a free spirit, and also Saturn in the area of your horoscope that influences these things, this is a very fascinating period. But both are being compromised. Saturn, as you know, has been affected by Neptune ever since the middle of June. And in the first half of this week, the square between them is absolutely exact. And it could prove to be quite draining, particularly if you are in some way trying to find your way in life from a financial viewpoint, if you're trying to do something more creative, if you're an artisan. But Mars is also angling up in a right angle to the Sun. Now the Sun's in a part of your horoscope at the moment which is very much to do with passions. It's about ends and beginnings. It's about the more psychological side of life. It's also about money and sex. Now these things may not necessarily mesh together with your appreciation of your values, your spiritual approach to life, as much as you would like. So there could be some jarring elements to this week in terms of how you'd like life to really be, as opposed to how it is. But then why should you let reality pulverize your passion? Exactly, you really shouldn't. But there is something that's developing beautifully for you this week, which is going to help you to pick through this. I told you recently that you're an armchair psychologist, and you can continue to use that skill to great effect as Pluto forges a wonderful link to Mercury. If you do need to unpick something, or to have some very deep and confidential discussions with someone you can really trust and rely upon, this is going to help you to see something in a different kind of way, a way that it is rather than how you'd like it to be, or perhaps seeing it as it is in a slightly different way from how you did before, because your relationship to the issue evolves by checking again. Once Mercury goes direct on Thursday, and also the Sun makes its way into your sister air sign of Libra on Friday, you can start to feel an awful lot more liberated. And also your modern ruler continues to forge a fine link with Mars in the first half of this week. So even if there are some people who just don't get where you're coming from, there are going to be others who absolutely celebrate it to the max. But as this week draws to a close, with the alliance of the Sun, Jupiter, and briefly also Venus, all together, this is setting up a period of discovery for you that can be hugely exciting. In Jupiter's case, it's going to go on for nearly a year from this point. The Sun is just going to supercharge the process. Now Venus moves on into an area which is much more to do with responsibility and seriousness around your closest relationships on Sunday. And I'll tell you more about that next time. But I do feel that if there is a desire for a certain amount of freedom from some of the pressures that have been crowded in on you of late, then you do need to find some strategies or events or people to move out of these and just free things up a little bit as this week draws to a close. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Thank you for joining me. Good luck and goodbye for now.